Exciting week jumping wise. I'm down to 195 body weight, still managing to get stronger. I'll talk about why I think that's happening. This is an acceleration, looking solid. I tested my vertical in this video, and I'll talk about the changes I'm making to this program I've been running for 8 months to stay healthy. Gonna go on a field trip in this video. Slight underperformance here on 1 foot East Bay, so 3 for 10. To be fair, I've never hit this on 9.7 before, but I was expecting more. I went in, hit a rage 9.6 standing mill afterwards, which is a PR. Did some reps with the left on 9 feet, and this is a lob off the backboard toss dunk. I wanted to do it as a tomahawk, but maybe that's a little harder than I expected. Okay, cuff mill, catching in the cuff. Those are my right foot jumps. 320 for 5 on my front squat. I feel pretty strong despite the cut, and I think the reason for that is just increased frequency. I've never done 3x a week squatting in my training career, never done 3x a week snatching, never done 4x a week benching. So those things are kind of super compensating for the fact that I'm losing body weight. 380 for 10 is good with the low bar. I thought the depth could have been better. I'm going to lock that in next week. Pretty standard upper body session here. Afterwards, I went and hit my tempos. 4x60 only took me like 15 minutes to do this. Grass field has been nice. Afterwards, I got back to practicing falling. I was posting about this in like 2021, but I've gotten away from it, and I look like an animal that's just been released into the wild after captivity for like 5 years. Was feeling super stiff on these, but I want to incorporate more variability into my programming because everything I do is in a set out rep scheme, set out movement pattern, and the lack of variability has me feeling brittle. Here's some ground beef stuffed peppers. That's froyo bark. Wednesday, acceleration. These mechanics are looking good. Striking under my hip. I'm attacking back. Sled's helping me for sure, but I was happy with that. I tested a 5-step approach vertical, which is one less than my max, but it was feeling good, so I went with that. 40 and a half, which is an inch under my PR in the driveway. 43 is my all-time PR. Happy with that in a training session. It's not really the main focus of the session. The main focus are these under boths. 9.25 for 8 is the same consistency as last week, up 1 inch on the rim height. So I'm happy with that. Afterwards, I went and got 3 makes on my 360 East Bay. I feel like if I get the under both, the 360 East Bay will fall. So I'm not going to prioritize that too much, but I do want to keep the pattern fresh. I did some single leg depth landings off 30 inches, sticking the landing. You might say, Liam, you're landing from 40 inches. What's the point of doing this? I think when you stick the landing, it's a little different, and I really love landings. It's a great training stimulus. I moved these calf raises from being on Thursday to this Wednesday session. Slightly less optimal because I can't use the hack squat at the gym, but I realized I was stimulating my lower leg 4 times a week, which is a little high. I would rather have that extra day to recover until Saturday, where I have another dunk session. This is my first time snatching from the floor since my back injury, so can't complain. I was trying to work on my early arm bend in the cleans, somewhat unsuccessfully. Anyways, got onto the squats. Those were good. RP 7 here. Solid performance with 250 on the bench. 7 reps, 11 reps for those top sets, and 8 on that last back down. Moving on to Thursday. Still getting used to snatching off of the floor. Slightly better performance here. I wasn't able to get 110 for the double. I redeemed myself effort-wise afterwards on front squats. So a while ago, I was chasing 170 or 375 for a triple on front squat, and I didn't get it. Now, on this day, I squatted 155 with the straps. So I think if I can triple 160 with the straps, when I take the straps off, I should have 170 for my normal front squat. Leg extension afterwards was good. I added the blocks this week, and I got a little warning sign on trap bar deadlifts. So I was supposed to have a 3x6. Felt my back the slightest bit, and I decided to live to fight another day. That was a good decision. Push press was swapped to this day from Saturday. I was trying to give myself a little more energy for the dunk session on Saturday. So just a lighter push press. I also do notice when I push press heavy, I feel it in my lower back just a little bit. So that lighter 3x4 has been good. Really good 142 on bench here for my touch and go. And then 145, I got stapled. So oopsies. I don't know what was up with that. I had lat pull down that I was doing in between the bench sets here, and also the single arm dumbbell row in between the bench sets that went well. 2x10 with the hundreds on a 20-degree incline is good. I was holding on for dear life with these for a while, and they've just now begun to shoot back up. 310 for a triple. So I said in the last video my best triple was 315. It's actually 320. That's what I'm chasing for the bench. Slow foam roller back down here. Could have applied a little more effort. And then just the overhead press on this day, not the push press, and that gave me more energy for the dunk session afterwards. I do enjoy knocking out this upper body in the morning. I wake up early and hit this and then get on to the dunk session. I did a couple reps with the under both and 360 East Bay, which are my two main dunking goals, just to get a secondary exposure. I believe this was 8-3. And then 9-6, reverse 360 mil. Very encouraging. That was hype. And that's a fake J-Rich East Bay off one. I spent 50 attempts on this hide and seek off one. Super hard to learn. 10-4. Here's a funny moment.
You suck!
Okay, 95% of the time, my self-talk is positive. Sometimes it works, though, if you just demand more. The sprinting there, that was a 2x20, 2x40, 2x60. And then I went up to the hills to get some variable movement exposure. So yeah, I'm just kind of galloping around in these hills, like I was mentioning at the start of the video, because everything I do is set out. This stuff is very therapeutic. Sunday, my hamstring was back to full health, 2x8, 120. This week, recovery-wise, I tried something new, and whenever you look up recovery modalities and people are like, oh, manage your stress better, I always kind of blew it off because it's like, my life is my life. I'm going to be doing what I'm doing, and the stress is going to be what it is. But I do think there are some practical ways you could manage your stress better. So I was trying to be more cognizant of how much I'm putting on my plate. And on some of these days when I was able to get everything done by about 7 p.m. after just kind of going from the morning, I just went in bed and laid down, not even trying to sleep, just laid down and did nothing. I think that might be the best recovery modality. And then I slept for 10 hours. So I was really getting a lot of recovery. So stress management can be kind of a broad and vague topic, but if you do a write about it and make some actionable points, I think it can make a big difference. Okie dokie, I was able to do low handle trap bar deadlift, pain-free for the 3x6, benefiting from my decision to stop on Thursday, and also a 2x8 with the landmine RDL, which I've tweaked my back on in the past. Got a nice lower back pump instead of lower back pain. We'll take it. Last word, variability.